Good morning, everyone. This is Mark Molina, CEO of Molina Leadership and Business Development Solutions. Now that Lane County has opened up, where we live here in Oregon, the county we live in is Lane County, and we've begun phase one of the reopening process of our local economy. What I want to do is interview some of the small local business owners who have been impacted because of the quarantine. It was required for our health and our safety. And now that we're coming out of that, what are some of the things that small business owners have to take into consideration? And what can we do to help them? And what can they do to help us? This morning I have with me Brekke Olsen, owner, sole proprietor and owner of BEMA Creative, a marketing company. And we're going to let him give us a brief introduction of himself and his background and why he's doing what he's doing. Brekke, welcome this morning. Thanks for taking some time to speak with us. And BEMA Creative, what is it? What's the scope of what you're doing, and why are you doing it?
Yeah, so BEMA Creative is a full-scale marketing company. We do everything within marketing, but we really specialize in web design and branding. So those are the kind of two things that we're most passionate about. But we also do everything from video to digital ads to photography. So basically kind of a one-stop shop for your marketing needs.
Very good. Now, and how long have you been in business now? I know
So
you've been doing this a long time. You've been doing this kind of work a long time, but now
yeah,
it's
so
creative.
yeah, so I've been doing marketing and web design for, I believe, 8 years now. And the business itself, we started 2 years ago. So in June, we'll hit that 2-year mark. So yeah, it's been a long, fun ride. Just kind of started with marketing one of my own businesses, and then I became more passionate about the marketing than running. I run a business, but more than it was a retail shop, more than the retail, I enjoyed helping people build their businesses.
Very good. Now, how has this quarantine affected your ability to make a living, interact with some of your clients, and help them and serve them?
Yeah, so the hardest part has definitely been the interaction. Moving from, because we live in a community that's really relationship based, it's been really hard because a lot of people, want to meet face to face and be able to, to touch and see you. And so, it's been a lot of Zoom calls, which hasn't been as tough for the current clients as it has been for newer clients. So I did bring on a few newer clients right before the quarantine, and that was really hard to try to address problems or figure out solutions for what they need for their business. Via Zoom. It just isn't that intimate kind of feeling that you get. So that's been kind of hard. And then the biggest part for us is that a lot of our business comes from networking. And really it's something that you need to do in person. And so that's been really tough.
Yeah, I think that it's interesting with your scope of work, the line of work that your company does, to hear from you that I've done a lot of Zoom meetings now, and this is the first time I've heard the challenges that also come with Zoom in regard to presenting your product, presenting your service, presenting solutions to things that customers ask you to help them with before this time of quarantine.
Yeah. So, the biggest part is the communication part of it. You can do screen sharing, but there's still this kind of element of disconnect. I'm not an expert in Zoom, but I've become fairly good at it because I do have some clients, one in Texas, that's kind of how we communicate, is via Zoom meetings.
So now we're coming out of Lane County, where we live. Many of the counties in Oregon, not just Lane County, but I say Lane County because we live here. They're coming out of this time of quarantine, and we are moving together into phase one operations of renewing our economy. Now, not every business is reopening. Some were open as best they could be considered essential. Some are, like for instance, some of the hotels and restaurants. I was on a meeting this morning with the Chamber of Commerce. Many are not opening, and despite phase one, because it costs too much money to ramp up, and they won't have enough business, and it'll cost them even more money in the end.
Yeah.
How can you help companies with their messaging, with their renewal process, continue to get back on track in the arena of profitability?
So I think for me, we always like to give a unique marketing plan to each company. You can't market, every restaurant the same way. Each has their different demographic, each has their different processes that they do. So I think for me, especially with my current clients and people who come to me during this, it's figuring out those key things like their demographics, and then figuring out how those demographics has changed. What they're viewing. Are they on social media more now? Are they viewing more videos? Are they going to Google My Business more? So I know me and my sister recently had talked about the restaurants, about how, because now on Google My Business you can see when they've opened for dine-in, and some of them have checked that setting, yet they're still not open, and so that becomes very frustrating to the consumers. And so I think making sure that with any type of branding, whether in quarantine or not, making sure everything's consistent and that the message is communicated clearly, so you're not frustrating your customers and your clients.
Well, I think it's important what you said about each business, restaurant in particular, is different. They each have their different demographics, their different processes, and just as a consumer, when you said that, it kind of shocked me a little bit, because I'm thinking, man, I thought restaurants were just about food, but he's right. There's a certain type of person that goes to Planktown.
Yeah.
There's a certain
Yeah.
type of person that goes to Along Came Trudy's here in Springfield, where we live. These restaurants, and they're niche restaurants. They're not national chains like IHOP or Applebee's,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So how would your organization be able to help some of these local entities reinvigorate their customer base?
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of it is making sure that you are communicating with them even when they're not coming in. So for instance, if there's a local, I have a friend that opened up Lovely downtown Springfield,
Hmm.
and so making sure that you're still communicating with your audience even though you're not open. So he's been fairly good at promoting on their Facebook and Instagram about how this is when we're going to open. These are the things that are available. So making sure that that your clients know, because I mean, if they don't know you're open, they're not going to be coming in at this point. So I think just figuring out creative ways to continue that conversation with your customers is probably the most important. And like I said, it's not going to be the same for every restaurant or business.
So, what is your view on from the data, from what you know to be true about social media? What are some of the needful social media platforms that we should all be concerned about?
That's a tough question again. I think it really depends on the industry. For us, we use Facebook, Instagram, as well as LinkedIn. For more professional businesses, whether it's a CPA, lawyer, I think LinkedIn is the best place to be. I I shy away from Facebook and Instagram for companies like that, just because I think that there's other ways to market their company, that their money would be best spent in that area. And so it really depends on the business. I know that's kind of an abstract answer, but the strategy is a big part of it, and really dialing in, who they're trying to serve. With any social media, if you're not consistent with it, I always tell people, if you're not going to be consistent with it, it's better not to have it.
All right, so that's some good information. I don't think it's as abstract as you might think, because my background being in sales, having worked in different industries, I'm thinking to myself, there are better venues for a particular industry, some rather than others. How do you determine that or ascertain that for your clients in regards to social media platforms?
Yeah, I think the analytics play a big part in it. So a lot of times we'll research, whether it's a certain age group, a certain ethnicity, a certain, gender that's their key demographic, because you can find that data for Facebook and Instagram and different things like that online. So we really try to target those, whether it's through that, or maybe their key demographic is looking at Google more and searching things on Google, then we would do more of the Google Ads thing. So really we use the statistics and analytics to help us to really key in on where they should be putting their money.
So we know, I've spoken to some contractors or different company owners, and some contractors, but different industries as well. They've been slow. Money is tight. How could you help them with limited resources through BEMA Creative? What would be some of the strategies you would be able to help them employ?
Yeah, I think especially when it comes to the marketing, I was thinking of this, as things start to open up. Unfortunately, people, where they cut their money is in their marketing budget. When in reality, it's like you probably need to be pumping money there, especially when you're, opening back up. But a big part of that too is that we do strategy. So we don't always have to do all of the marketing for you. If somebody is more on a shoestring budget, I'll just implement the actual strategy and kind of consult for them. So that's definitely a way we can go about working with people's budgets, is just me outlining everything they need to do, and then they get in there and they do the work for it.
So you consult with someone who's on a shoestring budget. How would you follow up to make sure that they are having success with your recommendations?
Yeah. So typically, I would set up times to go over what they're doing, whether it's social media posts, and make sure that they're doing that. So keeping that accountability, because I know, as a business owner, that's a huge thing that, we never have enough time in the day. So making sure that they're accountable with those things, because like I said, with marketing, it's all about being consistent. So if they get behind on things, that can be detrimental to the marketing strategy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so any final words? What would your final advice, counsel, your pitch, so to speak, be to any prospective client who would be interested in contacting you? Okay, yeah, I'm trying to get my business re-energized. I think someone like Brekke and BEMA Creative could help me. What would you say to them?
I think just making sure that, even before they come to me, making sure that they have a strategy for what they want. So when it comes to web design, I always ask, like, what is the purpose of the website? Because I can give you a really nice website, but if you don't know what you're trying to do, then we don't know what we're trying to accomplish. So making sure that whether it's generating leads or customers, or just that brand awareness. Some companies, just want that brand awareness so that they can build that customer base. So I think making sure that they have a clear goals in mind of what they want, that definitely helps someone like me to be able to give them exactly what they need.
All right, well, let me give you a scenario then. I come to you. It was a good answer, but I think this might be the customer you might run into right now. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just need my business to be successful. We need money in the front door. We need customers coming. I need my employees working. If I don't get this business going right now, I'm going to lose everything. How would
Yeah.
you help a customer with that sense of a client with that sense of urgency who really doesn't know?
Yeah, I think with someone like that, it's definitely more the lead generation. So making sure, for example, when we do SEO, SEO is kind of a long game. So when we do SEO with people, we typically want to do SEO, organic SEO on their website, but then we start them up with the Google Ads for more of that instant. You'll see a lot more leads faster that way. So I think making sure that they're doing things like digital ads, because digital ads, you get that instant results from that. And so for a client like that, I would probably stay away from anything that's kind of a longer game marketing, and trying to get that instant results from things like digital ads.
All right, well, you've got about 30 seconds to give me your pitch for any one client. This is important because you know as well as I do, you don't have much time, but
Yeah.
people will watch, people will listen. What would you like to say to them?
I think just to know that BEMA Creative is a place that we always say we build bridges between people. And we're a marketing agency that is really based on relationship marketing is what we like to call it. So we like to partner with our clients just to build their businesses and make them as successful as possible. And we enjoy that because as our business grows, then your business grows.
And how can they find you? How can they contact you?
So you can find me at bemacreative.com or on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Yeah.
So it's BEMA, BEMAcreative.com.
Yep.
All right, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had with us this morning Brekke Olsen, owner and creator of BEMA Creative. And if you need some help getting strategies, need some help getting your business reopened back up, reinvigorated, renewed, and regenerating vibrancy for the long term of business development as we go into these phases here in the state in which we live, the county in which we live, give a shout out to BEMA Creative, and Breck is prepared to come into your organization via Zoom if that's the best way. And he can help you with marketing, with photography, with websites, with social media, the full gamut of the media platform that's available to help you be a success. So,
Yeah.
Breck, thank you for your time, and
Yeah,
it
thanks
was
for having me.
thank you. It was nice to learn more about your business and hear more about the full scope of what you have to offer.
Thanks.
Okay, have a very good day.
You too.
Bye.